Sydney, Emily, and Alicia, doing congruent and similar figures.
Okay, so I'm going to be explaining the congruent figures. These shapes are the same and identical. They are also congruent. I know they are congruent because a congruent figure is where two shapes look the same and they also have the same side lengths and angles. So as you can see here, when I measured the angles, so these two are 90, these two are 90, these two are 145, these two are 145, these two are 145, and these two are 145. And then if I look at the side lengths, when I measured the side lengths, these two are 8, these two are 4, these two are 4, these two are 2, these two are 2, and these two are 4. So that is the definition of a congruent figure. So I'm going to show you a way to identify or tell that they're congruent. So, or the symbols. So this one is A and this one is B. So I'm going to do A, and then it's a little equal sign and then a little squiggly line on top of it, and B. That means that these two shapes are congruent.
I'm going to sort similar figures. So I'm going to tell you how the side lengths are the same. So if you have all the side lengths on this one are 1, and I measure them with my ruler that I have over here. So if you line them up, they all equal 1 centimeter. And if you multiply that by 2, you get the side lengths of the other figure, which is the similar figure to it, and it's 2 centimeters. So the side lengths are similar because I multiplied them by 2. The angles are similar. How the angles are similar is if I use my protractor and line them up, it actually equals 135, which each angle would be the same because it's an octagon, and all the angles are the same in an octagon. So over here is a way to show that the figures are similar. So you have A, which is the first little small figure over here, and B, which is the next figure over here. So A, and then there's a swerve line and a B. And the swerve line means they are similar.
Okay, I'm going to be explaining congruent figures, and so I'm going to say how these figures are congruent. And so as we did right here, a congruent figure is two shapes that look the same, and they also have the same side lengths and angles. So as I would know that this is congruent is because it has 4 90-degree angles on both ones. They both have 10 centimeters and 2 centimeters. And it and the degrees add up to 360 degrees. So as we did up here, since that's the sign of the congruent figure, I did 1 and 2, so I could do 1, the sign, and 2, and that is the congruent sign right in the middle. And so since there's 1 and 2, I would write 1 and I would write 2. And so that would be how I know it is a congruent figure. I'm going to be doing similar figures. I'll do them right there. And so how I know this is a similar figure is that it's exactly the same shape, except for it's a little bit bigger. So it has the same angles, it has the same amount of squares, except for it's bigger. So what I would do here is, let's say I mark this 1 and I mark this 2. And so it'd be A and B basically. So I could do 1, the sign, and then 2. And so what the sign is it means it's similar. It means it's similar. And then I'd add the 1 and the 2 because this is shape 1 and this is shape 2. And and what similar figures are is it's exactly the same shape. I think they're both rhombuses, and they're exactly the same shape except for one's bigger and one's smaller.
Okay, so I'm going to explain this set of congruent figures. They are identical and they are congruent. They are both squares turned into, turned, and all squares have 90 degrees. So, and then all I have to do now, since I know that all the angles are 90 degrees, is just measure the side lengths. And that one's 2 centimeters, that one's 2 centimeters, that one's 2 centimeters, and that one's 2 centimeters. That one's 2 centimeters, that one's 2 centimeters, that one's 2 centimeters, and that one's 2 centimeters. So they are all 2 centimeters. That means they are congruent, and they look the same. They also have the same side lengths, as I just figured out, and they have the same angles. So I can do this as G and H, and so G equal, and then squiggly, H, and then again this means congruent.
Bye bye.